Hello everyone, Australian Motorcycle News again. Peter Bom is my name, and this is Saturday's update from what happened in Mugello at the MotoGP today. Sorry for not having provided the video yesterday, Friday. Personal circumstances, wasn't able to do it. But today, what happened on Saturday and what we expect that's going to happen tomorrow. First of all, in case you were not in Mugello, I don't think you were in Mugello, go there. Whenever you can and you find some money in some corner, go to Italy, go to Mugello to the MotoGP race. It's the best of many things and you will never regret it. But since you're watching this video, I assume you did not went there. So what I'll do, I'll take you through today's qualifying session and the race. I assume you've seen it. And I want to provide you some background information about it. So I start with the result list and I start at the bottom. And the first thing we see at the bottom is Brad Binder. He crashed. He had a difficult weekend, like most of the KTMs, and he crashed in turn one. A typical race incident, not really his fault, but he took out Johan Zarco with it. So that's the other second name on the bottom of my list, Zarco, Brad Binder. Start accident in the first corner, that was it. Pedro Acosta is the third guy that didn't finish the race. He crashed. And that's a bit sad, because he shouldn't really have to. There was a good opportunity for basically all KTM riders to do a really good result today, especially on today's sprint where everybody was on the soft rear tire, which for tomorrow's main race is not a given yet. And the KTMs, they really like a soft rear tire, which was shown all weekend, so yesterday and today by Maverick Vinales, but also Acosta had good pace. For some reason, Pedro chose a hard front tire for the race. He got nervous by the track temperatures. And that probably was not the wisest decision. He crashed in the end of, here we have the track. Start finish is here. And he finished one lap nearly, and then into the last corner, turn 15. He was a bit over enthusiastic. He went really wide. And he was on the dirty part of the track and he lost the front. I actually watched his onboard video because Pedro is a rookie, almost a rookie, second year. He's quite good. So I was wondering where did it all go wrong, or was it really the hard front tire that made it? So I watched him on his onboard cameras following the whole lap, and he was behind Maverick Vinales, and it looked like he could have overtaken him basically everywhere. So he was initially on a really good pace, it seemed to me, but he wasn't patient enough into the last corner. He should have. The sprint is short, but in 11. It's still 11 laps, he can do something. So he threw away a really good opportunity there. Next guy we have on the bottom of the list is Somka Chantra. Our tire rider on the Honda. We don't need to spend a lot of words on him. He doesn't really belong here at the moment in MotoGP. So yeah, he's dead last. Second from last is Alex Rins, which basically is a guy starting from the top 10. But he got already boxed around in turn 1 to the outside, and the Yamahas had a shit day anyway. More about that later. So that was Rins in P18. P17, Lorenzo Savadori. He was thinking, that's a nice life. I'll be Aprilia's test rider. Aprilia is a really good bike. I praise it almost every week saying how good Aprilia basically is. He's supposed to be a test rider, but since Jorge Martin doesn't turn up and probably never turns up this year, he's also a full-time MotoGP rider. But he is more a test rider. He was never a MotoGP level rider. He is there to test stuff. I think he's really good at that. The results show it. So yeah, he's in P17. In the sprint only 9 people get points. He's there to test stuff. So you should not finish behind Lorenzo Savadori basically, which Alex Rins and Somka Chantra both did. They need to explain something. But the guy who was just in front of Lorenzo Savadori is Jack Miller. Now that's a shit result. To say it as it is, P16. He started in the top 10 in turn 1. But I think Jack also chose as one of the very few, just him and Pedro Acosta chose the hard front tire, and it didn't work. He dropped like a stone through the field. He didn't have an accident, he didn't run into the gravel trap, but he lost positions. So the hard front tire never gave him any benefit, and it dropped even quicker than a medium front tire. So everything was wrong today for Jack. P15, Takaaki Nakagami. Was already planning to be. He is a test rider for Honda since after he did many years in the GPs as a fixed rider. But since Luca Marini hurt himself 1-2 weeks ago while testing in Suzuka, he had to use that bike. Yeah, 15, not bad, not good, that's Taka Nakagami. Just gathering information for Honda. P14, Joan Mir. Now that's a drama. If you're Joan Mir, you're a fixed MotoGP rider. Basically the guy is always top 6, top 7 material from talent-wise. The Honda is in a difficult situation, but come on, Joan, you cannot just finish 14. That's and just one place in front of a guy that already retired and is now a test rider. So Joan is also having, just like Jack Miller, a hard weekend so far. P13, Miguel Oliveira, next Yamaha. He suffered from strange vibration in all the left corners. Well, there's a lot of left corners here, so that wasn't really a big success. Yamaha is struggling so far, except Fabio, but more about that later. P12, Ayagura, the rookie from this year, who had an injury and now he's coming back to it. Just solid result. P12 on Aprilia for a rookie is just okay. But remember, when I say P12, he still finishes on 13 seconds in an 11 lap race. So you're not on the pace, but from a rookie, I don't really mind a lot because he's just doing steady stuff. P11 is not a rookie, Enea Bastianini on the KTM. Enea turns out to be a one-trick pony. So he can do one trick, and when that trick is needed, he's really, really good. He can't do that trick on the KTM, and then he's really, really slow. So he told us the last race in Aragon that all he needs is that when he's ready braking, or when he wants to open the brake to keep a lot of corner speed, the thing goes wide. Can call it understeer if it was a car. All the KTMs do that. So, but some riders can ride around it more than others. Enea Bastianini cannot. And then in Mugello you have a problem. That brings us in P10, Fabio Quartararo. Actually, excellent, I would say. Wasn't it not like that? He also dropped like a stone. But he started in the top 3. He had a really aggressive start. He qualified on the second row. Fabio is riding out of his skin on the Yamaha. That is definitely the slowest bike. I mean, the straight is very, very long. He gets eaten by every man and his dog over the straight on the Yamaha, so that's hard. But P10 also points that there is another problem. If Fabio starts in the top 3, where he qualified rightly so doing the lap alone, and we do the sprint race with a soft rear tire, then you can't just finish whatever 11 seconds behind the winner. So there was more wrong on the Yamaha side, probably something like it can only do the lap time with a soft tire, but if the soft tire has done more than 3 laps, you drop like a stone. So work to do at Yamaha. Fermin Aldeguer, P9, another rookie, but on a Ducati, so I expected him even a little bit further up, but he suffered in qualifying. P8, Raúl Fernandez, the Aprilia guy that has so much promise in it, but also failed to deliver so far. This weekend he was given the exact same bike as Marco Bezzecchi. First thing he did in 3-1 with it is crash it, but big time crash it. So he didn't make friends with that in the team again. But finally in the end, I mean, he finished P8, already having 2 points in the sprint race. I need to see more from him because the Aprilia is really, really good. But anyway, he has some result finally. Another result is number 7, Franco Morbidelli. Well, that's just okay. I mean, Franco Morbidelli is on the best bike on the grid. That's last year's Ducati. And then he's the slowest of these bikes. So Franco is good, but not very, very special. And then in his home in Mugello, on 7 seconds from the winner, is not great actually. P6, speaking about not great, Marco Bezzecchi. That Aprilia is a lot better than this. He struggled to qualify better. He had a really good pace in the free practice sessions. As soon as you put a soft tire in it, nothing happens. At least with him on the Aprilia. Whether it is him or the bike, or a little bit of combination of both, but that's a huge problem. And then he also struggled to overtake people. So I think that bike is a lot better than it shows at the moment with Marco Bezzecchi. P5, he had Fabio Gianantonio, which is where you expect him to be. He is the 3rd of the 2025 Ducatis, which are problem bikes. And then he finishes on 4 seconds from Marc Marquez, and he finishes on 1.5 seconds from Pecco Bagnaia, which is good. Just that good. But more than good is P4, Maverick Vinales. The guy that was already on every manufacturer, won MotoGP races on every manufacturer, and still is only 30 or 32 years old. He is very, very special, but in a way he's also a one-trick pony. But when the stars are aligned for Maverick, he is very, very special. And he shows it now. He's in KTM, and the KTM is a problem child, everybody knows, but he and his crew chief especially, turns the bike around and now show the way to the other KTM riders how to be fast with it. So, and Maverick finishing fourth, aggressive start, really good start for Maverick, which is something special. So that is very, very good. And tomorrow, when everybody's probably on the medium rear tire, it can be even the next step for him. So yeah, the biggest surprise from today's race was definitely Maverick Vinales on the KTM. Pecco Bagnaia third, which is just not good enough. He should have finished second or be really, really close to Mark. He was not. He finished 2.5 seconds from Mark, but that's just because Mark didn't really push. P2, Alex Marquez. That's the fastest guy on the best bike on the grid, which is last year's Ducati, the brother of the fastest guy in the world at the moment. And Marc Marquez wins it. He's playing with everybody. He won it with 1.5 seconds. He could have won the sprint race with 3 seconds if he wanted to, but he didn't want it badly enough. He almost destroyed his race by fucking around with launch controls or ride high devices at the grid, so he missed the moment the lights went out. He went into turn 1, he was P7 more or less in the braking area, comes out of turn 1, P3, and the rest is history. So that was today's race. We have something to look forward to, because the sprint race from today is usually quite different from the main race. So tomorrow, yeah, I expect Mark to win. I expect Mark and Alex and Pecco to be there again. But I'm really curious to see what Maverick Vinales can do, and probably also Fabio Quartararo on the medium rear tire. I expect a little bit more from him. And maybe Bezzecchi finds something, mostly in his head, and puts the Aprilia there where it belongs. That's top 4. We also have Moto2 and Moto3. Check my notes. We've got 2 Australians in the Moto3 that are in quite good positions. So maybe you need to get up a bit earlier, because Moto3 Rulestone in 5th and Kelso in 9th. And Kelso, remind me, is still P3 or P4 in the Standings World Championship. So, and if you're in P9 in Mugello, in Moto3, that's not a problem at all, as long as you have a pace, as long as you know when you're riding alone, where to brake, where to turn in, where to open the gas, then everything is possible on a track with such a long straight where slipstreaming is really, really everything. So Jacob Rulestone, Joel Kelso are in good positions in the Moto3. Who is not in a good position is the winner of the Silverstone race in Moto2, Senna Aegis, where he managed to save the weekend more or less in Aragon. He gives himself a lot to do tomorrow, because he's only in P17 and it's Moto2, it's not Moto3, so slipstreaming is less important. I don't really know at the moment yet what went wrong, because something has to be wrong. Is Senna Aegis in P17, and if that's the case, I hope they find it and he still can save some of it for tomorrow's race. That's it, thanks for watching, and I'll see you back tomorrow.